Have you ever felt like your life was a ship caught in a raging storm, everything you'd built collapsing in an instant? What if in the depths of utter despair and loss, a grander plan was unfolding, completely unbeknownst to you? And what if the very flames of destruction were actually a beacon of salvation, signaling a hopeful new beginning? The story you are about to hear is a powerful testament to those moments when our failures are, in fact, the very doors opening to an unforeseen future. Amidst the vast expanse of the ocean, a majestic ship was mercilessly torn apart by the sea's fury. All passengers perished, swallowed by the depths, save for one man who miraculously clung to life. Exhausted yet resolute, he drifted until he reached the shores of a deserted island. As his eyes slowly opened, all he saw was white sand, endless waves, and an overwhelming sense of solitude. In those initial moments, he poured out his heart in fervent prayer, desperately pleading for divine intervention. Day turned into night, and hope slowly began to wane. He slept on the cold beach, waking each morning to renew his pleas, but the universe's silence only amplified his despair. The desolate island became his prison, and he slowly resigned himself to his harsh fate. Refusing to completely surrender, the man began to gather wood and grass, patiently constructing a small hut for shelter. He salvaged what he could from the wreckage of the ship, carefully arranging these precious remnants within his makeshift home. Sustaining himself on coconuts and fish, he began a solitary existence, alone amidst the raw wilderness. One day, while tending a small fire for cooking, a moment of inattention turned his humble hut into an inferno. Watching his only refuge consumed by flames, he cried out in anguish. All his efforts, all his hopes for a new life, were now reduced to ashes. In a fit of overwhelming anger, he raised his head to the sky, railing against God. "I begged you for help, but you didn't listen to my prayers. I built a shelter here, and you burned that too. You are truly cruel." He complained bitterly until night fell, then drifted off to sleep on the beach, his heart heavy with resentment. At dawn, a resounding noise jolted him awake. Opening his eyes, he couldn't believe what he saw. A ship approaching the shore. Overwhelmed with joy, he realized that help had finally arrived. He scrambled aboard, his heart pounding with excitement. Once on board, the man asked the captain, "How did you know I was stranded here?" The captain smiled and replied, "We saw a large fire signal coming from the island. We knew someone had to be there, so we came to help." The man was puzzled. "But I didn't send any fire signal." The captain insisted, "We only came here after seeing that fire signal." Suddenly, a light bulb went off in the man's mind. He remembered his burning hut. He instantly understood that the fire signal the captain spoke of was none other than the very flames that had destroyed his home. In that moment, he realized it was all part of God's magnificent plan to get him off that deserted island. God had used what seemed like a disaster to send a beacon of salvation. He fell to his knees, his heart overflowing with gratitude. In life, we often meticulously plan every step, envisioning our future with great detail. Yet what we desire often doesn't materialize, and what does happen is frequently not of our choosing. With our limited human understanding, we constantly try to make sense of the events in our lives. When trouble strikes, our faith begins to waver, our patience breaks, our hope fades, and we begin to complain to God. However, it is precisely in these most trying times that we must hold steadfast to our faith in Him. Among over 8 billion people on Earth, God has a purpose and a plan for each and every one of us. We should continue our efforts tirelessly, keeping our unwavering faith in the Almighty without losing heart. Our efforts combined with God's blessings can guide us through every difficulty. So, whenever you feel like your plans are failing, when everything seems to be going against your wishes, always remember this profound truth. Perhaps God has another plan for you. And His plan is always bigger, bolder, and undeniably better than any plan you could ever devise for yourself. We hope this story brings you inspiration and strength as you navigate life's challenges. What are your thoughts on God's bigger plan in our lives? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Golden Bell Dharma for more uplifting content.